Hey guys, Clint here, former cop who quit. Okay, I retired. That makes more sense. I didn't quit. Well, it doesn't matter. Guys, I want you to bear with me on this video. I'm going to just I'm going to try to make a point. The point's going to come towards the end, I think. But something angered me. I got a little bit angry. And I had to ask myself for a couple of days, why are you angry over this? Do you remember the Black Lives Matter protests? Right? And this isn't about me putting down Black lives, okay? Because of course Black Lives Matter. Okay, I'm all for Black lives. I love Black lives. I want to be Michael Jordan. I want to be Muhammad Ali. These are the people I want to be. If my wife left me, I'd want to have sex with Beyonce. I love black people. But do you remember the protests?
A very large rally by Ottawa standards. Thousands and thousands of people came out to show their support.
A big crowd has gathered at Jack Pool Plaza in Vancouver. And from Halifax to Toronto and in Ottawa, Canadians take a knee.
The march was large.
For a year. They protested for a year. And they were encouraged to protest. Trudeau wanted them to protest.
And I look forward to continuing to see thousands of Canadians protesting peacefully right across the country.
He just didn't want hundreds. He wanted thousands of people to protest. He encouraged it. He was for it. Everybody was for it. They never canceled the protests. Whether they were peaceful or violent, never canceled it. All allowed, all encouraged during COVID, during a pandemic. Watching the news the other day, and in Surrey, what happens in Surrey? They block a protest. They cancel a protest. Did you guys see this? I need to show it to you. Okay? It has to do with the Indo-Canadian community. They're protesting against something, and I don't know the full story, but they're protesting against something that happened in India that's going on. Farmers are going to lose their livelihood. So they had a farmer protest. Everybody was going to kind of stay in their cars. They had COVID safety protocols in place. And the Surrey RCMP shut it down. And this is what pissed me off. And I'm going to tell you why in a second. Have you subscribed to my channel yet? Can you hit subscribe? I don't say that enough. I need you to. This is what happened in Surrey.
We begin tonight with more fallout from a protest yesterday to support farmers in India. RCMP are defending their decision to enforce COVID-19 restrictions at the event in Surrey. But as CTV's Ahmad Agahi reports, organizers and civil rights advocates claim police were out of line.
What the RCMP did was not right. They did not have the right to do that.
Attendees are still frustrated. 24 hours after a Surrey drive-in car rally planned to support protesting farmers in India was cancelled by the RCMP moments before it was set to begin.
Look, the way in which the RCMP did this was completely wrong. We were blindsided.
Officers turned cars away one by one on Saturday from the Cloverdale Rec Center where the rally was to take place. And one person was even ticketed $2,300 for promoting a large gathering. While those involved in planning the rally argue they promised everyone would stay in their cars and come in one household, police were not willing to take a risk.
Why am I mad? Why am I angry at this? Oh, fuck. Why am I mad? Why am I angry at this? The police came out and they said it was because of COVID. They need to protect people from COVID, from getting COVID. What? What are you talking about? Do you know how many people got infected during the Black Lives Matter protests? They were on top of each other. Do you know how many infections? I don't know how many infections, but they didn't care back then. So why all of a sudden do they even care? Why would they care? What's this cop say?
Everything's good.
Oh, good.
Good. Our big concern, of course, is COVID.
Why is your big concern of... What the fuck did you say? Oh. This is the shit. Our big concern is COVID. All of a sudden, they have a big concern for COVID. Why? I'm asking myself, why? Why all of a sudden do they have a big concern for COVID? They didn't before for nearly a year. Why now? I love the RCMP, and I don't think they had a right to do it either. But I don't know the full picture. Sometimes you don't know the full picture. So I'm a guy talking about this who doesn't know the full picture. I think I do.
This was not about preventing a protest.
It exactly was about preventing a protest. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
We received information that with this event, there were going to be multiple vendors that would be attending. These vendors included food trucks, a DJ. Having vendors such as these do encourage people to leave their vehicles and walk around.
Why all of a sudden do the RCMP have a problem with people walking around during a protest? Black Lives Matter did it for a year. Nobody stopped them. There was even bans at these protests. Bans. Not a DJ, bans. Music at every single protest. They were allowed for a year. Nearly a year. Peaceful or violent, it didn't matter. Businesses destroyed, it didn't matter. They weren't stopped. And so I'm watching this asking myself, what's the real reason? What is the real reason? Because there's a real reason to everything. And I'm not shitting on that spokes lady. I'm not. Okay. Oh God, I shouldn't say this. Sidhu. Her name's Sidhu. And nice leg raises. Don't ever say that to her. I'm telling you that right now. If you see her in the office, don't comment on her leg raises. I got a story to tell. Maybe I'll tell it at the end of the video. Congratulations on your promotion. I find it odd that they all of a sudden have a problem with protests and people mingling. What are you talking? They mingled during COVID, guys. Black Lives Matter, that's what they did. They were on top of each other, sucking face almost. Screaming and yelling and breathing and saying the B words. Because you're not allowed to do that. Singing. Rejoicing. But now we have a problem with it. They weren't shutting down any... How about the lobster protest? Remember that? We didn't do shit about that. The RCMP didn't do shit about that. They just allowed it to happen. They allowed the protest to happen. People have a right to protest. I don't think they should be shutting it down. But the question is why? Why? Issued somebody $2,300 fine. Why? Why would they do that? How many times did they do that during the Black Lives Matter protest? That they got a hold of somebody and issued them a $2,300 fine. Why would you even go down that road? It's not a police issue. Enforcing these COVID rules, enforcement of the COVID, it's not a police issue. The police could have said, no, we don't believe in it. We're not enforcing it. It's embarrassing. When I first watched this, I thought the first thing that came into my head was who made the decision? Who in Surrey made the decision? Inspector Carr. It appears. He talks to the news outlets. And this is what he says.
They had the plans to do a stage. They had plans to have speakers. They had plans to have music. All that suggests more than just a protest. It sounds like a festival. It sounds like they're trying to have people gather and they're calling it a protest and trying to get away with it as a protest.
Trying to get away with it. They wanted a festival, guys. I'm like, I call bullshit. Why would he care? When there's been nothing but protests all year, why would he all of a sudden care? It doesn't make any sense. I think I know why. I think I know why he did it. How do you get promoted? I guarantee he's thinking, if I shut this down, do you know how good I'm going to look in front of everyone? There'll be less COVID because they're not going to gather. I'm going to save lives. I am going to save lives. I got a competency. I'm going to get promoted. I can write to this. What a great example. I don't know. Maybe I'm off. But that's what my mind thought. Way to go, Carr. Like, really? Good police work, Carr. I asked myself, why are you angry, Clint? Why are you angry? Black Lives Matter protests all year round. Why do I feel racist saying that? I don't give a shit if people are protesting for anything that they believe in. But the moment the Indo-Canadian people want to have a protest for something good, Black lives... I hate when I can't get my point out. Don't shut it off. I got a point. I got a point here. Okay, yeah, Black Lives Matter. Okay, we all know that. But what about Indo-Canadian lives? Do they not matter? We didn't shut down the other protests, so why would we shut down this protest? It seems like a pretty good protest. I don't know a lot about it, but it's kind of a big deal. It's affecting lives, destroying lives, these bills that are happening in India, going against farmers, destroying their livelihoods, and they want to protest about it. But all of a sudden, we have a problem with COVID. We didn't before, but we do now. So what really matters to people? Why are Black lives more important than Indo-Canadian lives? Indo-Canadian lives. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. And that's what I started asking my question. Why would they shut it down? So it's been driving me crazy lately. I've been, for a couple of days, I've been asking myself, why would they shut it down? Why would they shut it down? And I realized maybe I'm asking the wrong question. Maybe the real question should be, why didn't they shut down all protests in March the moment COVID came out? And when you ask that question, that's when you get the answer. It would have been racist to shut down the Black Lives Matter protests. If you shut that down, you are racist. That's why they didn't shut them down. That's why they never will shut them down. They kept it going during the virus. Trudeau encouraged it. You know why he encouraged it, right? He used to wear blackface. What's the best way to get out of him wearing blackface? What's the best way? You encourage protesting. No politician will ever and wasn't going to stick their neck out and go, we need to shut down those Black Lives Matter protests because there's COVID-19, guys. Nobody was going to do that because it would have been racist to do that. And they don't want to be seen as racist. Isn't that fucking sick? That's pretty fucking demented. If you really think about it, when anybody of minority, anybody of color gets shot by police, it's a racist moment. White guy gets shot, nothing's ever said. It doesn't even hit the media. But if police shoot somebody that is a minority, it has to be racist. If you don't say it's not racist, if you don't say it's racist, then you're racist. The moment somebody gets shot by police who isn't white, this pattern's got to stop, right? Getting tired of this pattern that the police are showing.
I'm pissed. I'm outraged. There needs to be a full accounting of what has gone on. This is a pattern that keeps repeating itself.
It doesn't matter if they're charging you with a knife. It only matters what the color of their skin is. If it's white, they won't say a word. It's fine. if they're non-white, they're tired of seeing this pattern. But what they don't realize when they say those words, you're killing police. That's why police hesitate now. Believe me, the last thing police ever want to do is shoot somebody that isn't white. I guarantee you that's one of the first things that go through their head. They did a study in Harvard. I know you don't want to hear this. But police in America are reluctant in shooting black people. No matter what. They will do anything but shoot them. They're willing to sacrifice their own lives because they don't want to have the ramifications afterwards. We're doing things in this country to prove that we're not racist. We're trying to prove that we're not racist. Supporting Black Lives Matter during the COVID. Hey, John, Black Lives Matter protest coming up. Should we shut it down? Fuck that. You think I'm going to put my name on that? I ain't shutting down that. Farmers' protest coming up. Shut it down! Like, what? What? We are so quick to label this country as racist. That's the thing, right? Canada is racist. Have you ever asked yourself, what if it's not? What if it's not racist? What if it's this is what makes me angry. This is my argument. Why are we always proving that Canada is racist? Eve, we're at the best stage of Canadian life ever when it comes to racism. It's never been better. It's just been going up and up and up and up and up. Goodbye, racism. But every time it goes up and up, what is going up? Less racism. It's a less racist country than it was 20 years ago. But we can't focus on the positivity because that's racist. Even though it's obvious that there's less racism in this country. People would agree that there's more racism in Canada than ever. Isn't that weird? Could you imagine if we just came out and said, Canada is the least racist country globally in the entire world, on the planet. Too racist to say that, right? It might be true. I mean, think about it. When's the last time you've ever seen somebody get give me an example of this racism. Why can't they do it? It's almost like we're fighting a fight. Maybe it's a fairy tale. There's racism. There's racism. There's racism. Where? Show it to me. Where is it? Give me an example. Why can't you give me an example? We just assume there is. Trudeau, a drama teacher, is telling you that Canada is racist. All police are racist. The commissioner telling you all police are racist. Trudeau, a drama teacher. And we're taking him for his word. He taught the easiest subject that you could possibly teach in school. And now he's prime minister of our country. He's the most powerful man in our country. And he's telling you that Canada is racist. And a lot of Canadians will tell you Canada's never been more racist ever. Where's the evidence? Can you just show it to me? I just want to see it, okay? And I don't want to hear about 1818. I don't want to hear about John A. Macdonald. I don't want to hear about that. I know those back in the time it was bad. But I'm talking about today. Here I am again, talking about fucking racism. I'm just a dude saying this stuff. It's my opinion. Maybe Canada is racist. My opinion can change. That's what I love about me, okay? You can change my mind. Don't you hate it, people that you can't change your mind? You can see it in their eyes when you're talking to them and you give them an idea and they don't want to. They just look away. They don't want to hear it. They're not listening, right? But you can change my mind. Just give me an example. Give me an example of systemic racism in the RCMP. Nobody can. They got task force talking about systemic racism in policing. But they haven't even defined it yet. There's no definition. There's no example. Who the fuck is saying that black lives don't matter? Who's saying that? Do you know who's saying it? I'm not saying there's not racist people in this world. Of course there is. I'm not saying there's not racist people in policing. I've never met one. I'm sure there is. But don't tell me there's systemic racism when you can't give me an example. And the only thing you ever talk about is John A. Macdonald in 1818 and whatever else. It doesn't matter. This will be here forever. Racism will be higher than ever. Every year it just keeps, even though there's less racism every year in this country, it doesn't matter. It'll always be here because they cannot say to you the truth. They cannot say, we got a hold on this racism card. It's looking really good. We've never been better. They'll never say that. It'll actually be worse. If they say that, they're racist. So they have to keep on telling you that racism exists. And not only does it exist, it's a systemic problem. Do you really believe that? Fuck. And it's all about white people, right? If there was 5%, if Canada only consisted of 5% of white people, those 5% would be considered racist. They would have a systemic problem. It doesn't matter how good things are. It doesn't matter how good things have improved. You're racist. You're a racist country. You always will be. I just wanted an example, guys. I just wanted an example. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I just wanted an example. And don't tell me it's because, do you see who's in jail? I hate that one. Do you know who's in jail? Do you know what certain groups are in jail? I'm like, yeah, that's because they're committing crime. Well, why is there so many of this certain group in jail? Because they're committing crime. That's why. They come from broken families. That's why. That's the number one reason why people are in jail. A broken family. Do the stats. Figure it out. Who has broken families? But no. If they go to jail, we're racist for putting them in jail. Nothing to do with broken families. It's cops and courts oppressing certain groups in this world. Like, give me a fucking break. You can't really believe that. Yeah, I do believe it. The drama teacher said so. He said so. It's got to be right. I'm not making my point and I don't like it. I'm not making my point on why I'm angry because it's so hard for me to convey my thinking. And maybe I should have waited another day to do this video. I've never once said a racial slur to anybody's face. And I've never seen anybody else do it in my lifetime. Ever. But I've been called every single racial slur that you can possibly think of. My entire career with the RCMP. But I'm the racist one. Like, why is it only white people that can be racist? We feel so guilty, right? We feel so guilty for the past. The politicians feel so guilty for the past that they will never admit to you that there is no systemic racism. Because that's racist if they do that. We will always feel guilty. We will always treat people like a victim. In Canada, they will treat them like a victim. And what's the worst thing you could do to somebody? You treat them like a victim. So they could walk around thinking they're a victim their entire life. It's easier for them to say, we got to get control on this racism. There's too much racism in Canada. Because to actually focus their energy in saying racism is good in Canada, there hardly is any. Which is the truth. They can't say that. Because that's hard to say. Now what do you say to that? There's groups in government right now that we're paying for, that are battling something that might be a myth, that might be a fairy tale. Cops need to get cameras so we can battle racism. Even though I've never seen a racist incident in my entire life between a cop. I've never seen a cop oppress somebody because of the color of their skin. Who's paying for the badge cams? We just sit back as Canadians, just go, well, they said so it must be true. You're listening to a drama teacher. You're listening to really weird politicians with no example of systemic racism. I got a guy on my YouTube channel that keeps on calling me pink. I think it's racist. I don't even know. I don't even really care. It doesn't bother me at all. But it's because I made fun of an indigenous woman. I didn't even really make fun of her. I just stated a fact. It's because I talked about an indigenous woman. I'm racist. If it was a white person, I'm not racist. You can be against criminals as long as they're white. You can have protests only if it's Black Lives Matter protests and lobsters. I'm thinking out loud while I talk to you guys, and it's really I'm going to talk all sweet. It's really seeing the double standard and seeing all of our energy focused on battling racism. But I've yet to see an example. And I'm not talking about a guy on a bus that's calling a black person a bad thing. That's not what I'm talking about. I want to know how police are racist towards other groups. Can you tell me? Can you? Please? Please, I want you to convince me. Can you? Can you convince me? And good job, Carr. You're a hero. Okay? You saved lives. Good job. If you can't define it and provide examples, then how can you even prove that systemic racism exists in Canada? What is the measuring stick? What's a measuring stick? Why aren't we talking about that? How can you combat something that might not exist? Why can't we focus on it? Why can't somebody just stand back and go, maybe we got it wrong? Maybe we need to focus our attention on maybe it not existing. Because we can't come up with any examples, guys. Just get a pen. Give me some examples. And don't be like the fucking commissioner or the RCMP. She was asked an example. Can you give me an example of systemic racism? She goes, the pair test. Why? Because she had to come up with something. It didn't make any sense. She's saying that the pair test is racist. Because she couldn't come up with an example. She should have asked them. You first. You tell me an example. Why don't we ask these questions? We just sit back and we just allow them to talk bullshit. And I'm so tired of hearing people that aren't white, that are on the news channel saying, I got pulled over for no reason. Well, no, you got pulled over. We can pull you over for anything. And that's what we do at night. We're bored. We're being proactive. We don't care who you are. We're pulling you over. We only need a couple of reasons. We want to check your driver's license or registration. We want to see if you're drunk. Pulled over for no reason. Trust me, police are so scared to be called racist that they're willing to sacrifice their lives for it. I've seen it. It's happening. It's happening tonight, right now. There's a cop that's not following his procedures properly because he's too scared. He wants to hesitate because he doesn't want the backlash. But we don't have a problem with that. If you believe we're a country of racists, what would you change? Tell me right now. Think about it right now. What would you change? Okay? We live in a country that's racist. You agree with that. You think that. What's the first thing you're going to change? If you don't know, there might be a problem there, right? Like, what would you change? I have no idea what I would change. I don't even want to be a white person. There's so many disadvantages. I'm jealous. I wish I was indigenous. I wish my kids were indigenous. There's advantages to that. Was that racist to say? Yeah, probably. I guess that's racist. I guess my point is we will always be racist. And I predict that we're going to be more racist than ever in the coming years. What's the evidence? Because he said so. We're racist on our best day. It ain't going away. It's just going to get worse. Because to deny any of that is racist. Why am I talking about racism? Anyways, guys, I don't know if I proved my point. I don't know if my point made any sense. I'm going to review it. I'm going to look at it. I got to go. Wife wants me to cook some steaks. So. Plus, I got to go find somebody to oppress, right? I got to. Maybe my sister-in-law. She's part indigenous. So maybe I'll go, I don't know, say some racist jokes to her and make fun of her and oppress her somehow. Yeah. And by the way, nobody believes that you're part indigenous. You're just trying to get cheap cigarettes. Okay? And save on some gas. Maybe some education. Oh, God, I can't. That's racist to say, isn't it? I'm just saying. I'm a jealous racist, I guess. I don't know. Is it racist to say that you kind of want to be like, I wouldn't mind being indigenous. I wouldn't mind having a. I wish my kids were indigenous. I gotta stop. I'm gonna stop talking. Okay? Have a good night. Bye-bye. And I'm not shitting on that spokes lady. I'm not. Okay? Oh, God, I shouldn't say this. Sidhu. Her name's Sidhu. And nice leg raises. Don't ever say that to her. I'm telling you that right now. If you see her in the office, don't comment on her leg raises. I got a story to tell. Maybe I'll tell it at the end of the video. Nah. No, you know what? I don't think I can. I don't want to embarrass her. Really, it'd be embarrassing me, wouldn't it? No, I don't think I'm going to. I'll tell the story one. I don't know. But she did have nice leg raises. And congratulations on your promotion. Good for you. You'll be inspector one day. Guaranteed. No doubt about it. I shouldn't have brought any of that up.
Hi, my name is Ashley. I'm pretty big. I did not know there was a protest, but sure, I'll put my input in. I hate racism. That's the end of it. We all bleed red at the end of the day. What's the necessary need for it? Especially at a time like this. And I love the sound of a Harley. I'm going to go shop for Adidas.
Do you guys have anything to say about what's going on? Well, all lives matter, right? It's just not just...
I'm pretty big. I did not know there was a protest, but sure.
Ashley, you should be going to the salon. Oh my God. I don't know if I can watch this. She's baked.
Sure, I'll put my input in. I erased.
Because we want to hear her input.
And I love the sound of a Harley. Going to go shop for Adidas.
Do you guys have any...
Oh, okay.
How do you feel as a Canadian?
Hi.
Feel great?
Police should not be killing people. They should be protecting them.
Oh, fuck. Why am I doing this to myself? Why am I doing this to myself? Why am I going through this like a... I should be in the hot tub.
They're dying in our own country! We need to wake up and realize...
We need to wake up and realize we are all human.
We are all human. I don't believe in COVID.
Well...
We are all human. I don't believe in COVID.
I don't know if you are, dude.
I see a whole lot of signs that say Black Lives Matter. It's not Black Lives Matter, it's all lives matter.
Oh, dude. You can't say that. That's racist.
I want
What did you just say?
y'all to know something!
What was it? What did he just say? Give that guy a podcast. I don't even know. And I feel bad that I talked about Joni. I probably shouldn't have said that. Because I didn't tell this story. I should tell this story, but nice girl. What's this? What's this?
Nadia Stewart, Global News. In a parking lot. Nadia Stewart, Global News.
Okay. Oh! Is that Christy? Christy Gordon. God, I miss her. Wasn't meant to be, though, I guess. I don't know.